versus Mirana. Initially it was versus heroes like Marcy, so it's a hero that can get away in lane. It's hard for you to kill him. I think it's a similar concept
10 seconds
versus the
remaining.
Tusk. You know, you can get out of shards. And then this Broodmother first too, we saw it earlier
5
today.
seconds remaining.
It did kind of struggle earlier today, so I'm kind of curious to see what Secret's answer is to this Broodmother.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Tundra. They are always going to jam this meta offlane duo, and they're just going to say, hey, here's our heroes, deal with it. Net has played this Brood versus Monkey matchup a million times. I'm sure Chrysalis has as well. So it comes down to, hey, we're both okay with this matchup. Let's see which one of us is actually right about how this lane goes.
I do think Secret's one of the teams that's happier than a lot of others taking their carry early this tournament, especially for Crystallis. I feel like they're pretty contentious. Okay, what do you want versus the Brood? They already thought about it. Pick the Monkey. They're happy to go into these second phases getting what they want. This is kind of an awkward opener to me, though. I feel like a lot of times Tundra either goes this Brood Zoo route or they go the Mirana skirmish route, not necessarily together. Like, this opener to me needs some stuns and some lockdown. Otherwise, you're getting invited around in the fight. I feel like especially when you play with Mirana, you can like that stuff set up from your off lane. Not going to have, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Brood on any of these other lanes. It's kind of like you need both things to get enabled in the second phase. So Tundra really have to think about what they want to ban here, so when they get to that second phase, something comes out to enable both these together.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you have 9, so you have this counterbalance in that your mid hero will probably have a stun. 9 almost always plays these random skirmishy heroes. But the bans being on point is very important, because if you're picking this melee this melee mid hero weak laner against Nisha, one of like the best players in the world, insanely high skill, you have to worry about, hey, is this lane gonna be okay if we pick Spirit Breaker mid and he counterpicks this, bam, and you know you get slammed. Be really careful.
Something else I want to note is that she did take Tusk first pick, which is one of the heroes Tundra has played the most for the mid lane. So we talked about them not really sharing the same hero pool, but Tusk is one hero that Secret is, you know, usually Zayak. I think it's only mid Zayak. And it is something that Tundra plays. So they are going to try to find something else mid lane that could fulfill that similar role. I think especially with a hero like Broodmother. Like you guys said, it is important to have some kind of stun. You have a Mirana and a Broodmother. They might look at something like Primal Beast for mid lane for 9. What else does this guy play that, you know, could do this for them?
Yeah, I mean, there's the Spirit Breaker. He's played like a Void Spirit in the past. A lot of these, you know, sort of unorthodox heroes he often. Avery talks about the Brood and Potem being sort of awkward, but I think there's similar dynamics with Tusk Monkey King. Generally, when you pick a Tusk first, you balance it with some magic damage, ranged hero to lane with it, and they pick the Monkey King instead because they're getting that response to Brood. So you look at a first phase, both teams have heroes want, but maybe themselves in terms of the way they interact. It's just a bit unusual, which I think adds to like how well things turn out, because it's not very hero pairings.
Yeah, so bans are a bit telling, right? Because Secret is banning Slark, they're banning Ursa. These are heroes that are good against these melee types of offlaners, so you can kind of see that they're planning something in the next phase already. I don't think these bans have anything to do with Monkey King necessarily, right? They're kind of planning their second phase because they are first pick. They're gonna have to pick blind. They're gonna get counter picked. So it's interesting to see. Like this gives us a clue as to what they're up to.
There's also a possibility they just want some. In terms of Tide Hunter, we've seen him play it a couple times. That would indicate the Slark Ursa bans like you're talking about, right? I honestly think this Enigma ban is kind of whatever for me. Because I think when you do this Brood opener, I don't think you care about Enigma. And I think if Secret really wanted that Tusk Enigma, they would have taken it. And I think it's almost like a bait at this point. Line with what you're saying, Paul. Like, they're probably going for something to help deal with the Brood in terms of AoE, that they're afraid of the safe lane, just run at you, beat you down heroes, making the lane matchup too unplayable. I also wouldn't be surprised to just see Hoodwink come out for Tundra out of phase. I think it's their go-to with this Brood. It's like either Hoodwink or Tiny here to get their low CD stun playmaker, and then I think Secret can already think about what is Puppey going to play into that. If you want the big AoE fighter, you have to think about what that hero's going to do in the Brood lane, because that lane is deadly for a lot of those types of heroes.
Yeah, I mean, Tundra pre-picks this Potem, so Puppey may be less likely to want the Chen.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
think the interesting thing about a lot of these bans is they're not really banning like or like super ideal for the specific situation. They're kind of just like going down the list of, hey, this team likes these heroes, let's ban them, because both teams have a very specific hero pool, and they're like, you know, there's a Kunkka ban, you know, that against any other, you know, there's this like Dirge ban because they play with 4 Dirge. There's like a lot of really specific.
Yeah, so I think we are going to see. I'm expecting something like the Tiny, like SVG said, Tundra. We're going to see, because this is going to be one of their setups, most likely, and the whole draft is going to yield from Secret side, and Tundra is just going to get to respond. So they're thinking pretty hard about this ban. They're taking a lot of time because they're going to ban. They're going to pick their hero here. But they ban the Pangolier, another hero that's pretty good against Broodmother.
Secret's turn to pick.
Okay, it is a Tiny.
Yeah, good call, has good synergy. I think heroes they're all very, very comfortable on. Soxa is very, very good at laning on here. They'll kill the G, they'll go in lane, they'll test every CS. They're not going to get you these denies in CS3. They're going to double last hit. And, you know, maybe he'll pull some wave by throwing the tree. Like, they have all sorts of things up their sleeve.
I mean, I now think if you're Puppey, you're just taking that damage dealer. I think your options are like, we've seen Jakiro and Lich played a lot this tournament. I think both of these solid. I would like to see a Wyvern. Disruptor. But you'll end up going Disruptor.
That is a good killer for both Broodmother and Mirana. She cannot leap out of the kinetic field. It's also, if you ever get to see Broodmother, you get to glimpse her back and you get to contain her because this hero is very hard to kill otherwise. So it is one of the best Brood killers. And I think this other pick is going to be something along Tidehunter, Mars. Those are what the bans indicated to me. So something that deals with Brood again, because you do have to address this hero. And they go Magnus, actually, that's a different one.
That's a very interesting choice here. We actually, if we were looking at pub history, Rezo was playing this a bit in pubs over the break. So this could definitely be some mag strat they built and have a good idea going in, like, hey, we're going to get second phase mag, because nobody was going to ban mag going into this game one, right?
I think it's also not out of the question. This is a soft flex. Niche is a player who can play practically any hero in the game. A player who takes like super hard lane turn pick, though likely something that's somewhat playable. Maybe they get some Viper or some sneaky hero last pick that makes Skitter's lane almost impossible.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call because it is something that Puppey as a captain has always taken a liking to, being able to flex his heroes, whether it's a Monkey King that can go middle or safe lane, in this case Magnus. They are willing to put supports in either lane. Skeeter response Naga Siren. Okay, how do you guys like that?
It's a Skeeter classic, right? Manta work hard every game, push the tempo, abuse the early team fighting. It's also an arrow setup. You get this sleep and deck combo, which is really nice. The lane always feels good because you get the minus armor with the extra Mirana right clicks. Again, I think the more setups you have for this Mirana, it's nice. I think it's also a combo they've abused vision-wise a lot this tournament. Like Naga's pushing in the lanes, making people show, sending illusions in the fight, and then at the same time you have this Pada multi that's hiding your backline. It's super deadly in these team fights. We're talking about a team fight from Secret, which might be predicated around glimpses or big RPs. Suddenly you have illusions going in and you can't see anybody through the Mirana ult. Makes all of those spells tremendously harder, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the theme of the way these team fights play out is super interesting. Depending how the early game goes, Secret has an impenetrable wall. They're chasing you, you can't glimpse you back. They have this RP eating in the wings, really fat Monkey King. It's another world where Tundra has all this garbage running at you. You can't see anything, and they see you, and they kite you, and they poke you, and you have Disruptor playing on the defensive, which is generally not what you want.
They're basically the zookeepers here. I do think Tundra is definitely going for this vision type of game, right? They're gonna push the lanes in, and Secret has to show in order to push the lanes back. They don't have that much nuke right now. And then they're gonna play around with this vision. They're gonna set up kills on the map. And meanwhile, Secret's just gonna want to fight them. Whenever they see them, they can bring numbers. They can just take the team fight. They have a bunch of spells, like strong spells. You know, RP. You have the Disruptor ulti, the Monkey ulti. They have all these team fight spells, and Tundra doesn't. So it's again two different approaches, which is what we were expecting going into this. And this Wyvern ban is actually a pretty smart one, I think, because 9 does play Wyvern mid, and this is a fantastic Wyvern game if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that was a really clutch read, honestly.
One of the old school mag lineup counters, right? I mean, do you think the lane structure for Secret is going to be an issue in terms of like Disruptor? It's not the greatest heroes at dealing with these illusions later. They can't really interact with the Brood lanes that are ghost shoving waves. It kind of forces Secret's cores to show here a lot in the game. And then at the same time, you have a support duo that kind of wants kills and makes them happen. I feel like you're getting split up too much. You're not gonna have it. You might fall off with the damage at a certain.
Yeah, I mean that's where they could be looking for something like a Zeus. You know, maybe helps with the damage, gives them sort of this global presence so they can help deal with the lane some. I think this, you know, sort of sneaky, maybe neat.
10 seconds remaining.
This type of hero for Nisha, very good here.
Sounds like Tinker.
Sounds
like Tinker to me.
What do you guys think about a Timbersaw for Secret? Could potentially go different lanes. They don't really have any damage for him. They do have a Vessel Buyer and a Mirana, so they can't find an answer. But this Batrider ban is also something that's potentially giving a hint towards Timbersaw. But I do agree, either way, they need a hero that can deal with these summons. Just something that can also connect to the team, ideally. So, you know, you might see a hero like Ember Spirit as well, something like that.
Yeah. I think anything mobile that can deal with the lane pressure so that other heroes can group a little bit where those spell synergy will shine is going to feel good for Secret here. And like you said, I mean, any of those heroes is right up Nisha's playbook, right? We've seen him dominate the year on a lot of those spellcaster carries.
I mean, you can see Tundra, they're thinking about the Magnus mid potentially as well. They banned the Darks here, so clearly thinking, hey, this Magnus is not guaranteed to the off lane, so you could have some flexibility. keep a
10
mind open.
seconds
All
remaining.
right, clutch call is Timbersaw. Otherwise, I'm gonna go with something like Ember Spirit or Storm.
5 seconds
That's
remaining.
my call here. Let's see.
I respect the chatting up.
They'll see the Tinker. See
Tinker?
him busted
Okay.
out. I'm down for it.
If they go Tinker, I feel like we'll see an immediate Zeus.
Yeah, that is the
a very
issue.
classic 9 hero. So I'm not feeling the Tinker right now.
It is an extremely good Zeus game for Tundra as well, if depending on what secret.
I
Yeah,
do
I mean-
really like Zeus for their heroes. It's perfect for how they want to play this map.
Do you think they just steal it here? Like, is Puppy thinking about, hey, if we give him this last pick Zeus, suddenly the global threat with so much lane shove just becomes debilitating?
It's not bad. It's not bad. They don't have that much reach between their heroes. They have
Yeah.
the sleep.
Tundra
other than that-
Esports turn to
Ember Spirit. Okay, they go for the stable pick.
And it soft blocks the Zeus a little bit, right? At least you're going to need some gap close on him. You're
Yeah.
going to threaten him a little bit. You can control the runes against him, which is nice.
Early game tempo is quite nice.
All right, Quinn, what is he going to play mid? I feel like this is your wheelhouse. You see an Ember Spirit. Your name is 9 right
10
now.
seconds.
My name is
What's it
9.
going to be?
I mean, I think the Zeus is honestly not that unlikely.
5 seconds remaining.
Them having this sort of long range, like if you look at knife, it's kind of scary to just straight up run into without abusing this vision, abusing what we talked about that being sort of thematically what their lineup wants. The 9 plays that fit in that wheelhouse, it's the Wyvern, it's this.
Mid hoodwink.
Yeah, I mean, even something like a Hoodwink is possible, to be honest.
Talking about long range burst.
I feel like 9 is such a unique player that it's very hard for me to call what he's actually going to play here.
The only other hero I can think of he's played on playoffs, especially with the Mirana, was the Spear Breaker game that he had.
I think it's pretty tough against Ember Spirit, right, Quinn? I feel like
Yeah.
that one's kind of hard.
The game, I mean, you just can never charge him. He just presses W. Fingers are on the keyboard. You're not stunning him.
Play Huskar? Not even a consideration here, and the
Does
mag
not,
is
I
a bit
don't think.
spooky.
Are we okay with Tiny Mid?
There is OD. He's also played a lot of OD.
Oh,
That is a little
just in the
cheap.
tail
Yeah,
end.
barely.
All
All right.
He locks it in.
I mean, I was thinking, you know, because every time they see this morph, they see this Ember, they're thinking, you know, Hour of Devour. I thought they were going to pick it earlier on in the tournament. He goes Midas, he goes Ags. Suddenly the multiple saves come out in the fight for RP and Static Storm. It's going to chunk through the cores without BKB. Pretty obnoxious pick.
Yeah, fits that style, fits that long range, sort of gives you that damage, that scale, so you aren't all in on this Naga who's playing into Magnus, who's playing AoE clear and the Ember and the Monkey powered. I think it helps their lineup a lot.
Yeah, it's also decent against Disruptor. I'm going to go with Secret on this one still. I think they have a really solid lineup. I think Tundra has to play a very concept style of game. Like, it is their view of Dota, and they have to really make it work this game. But I think Secret
10
has a
seconds remaining.
easier understanding of how they're going to play this game. They can just brawl. Tundra has to be very smart about
5
which fights they take.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, ease of execution is definitely on side. As the game progresses, this Ember and Monkey with Empower, your Broodmother impact starts to dip a little bit, Naga Illusions start dying. Suddenly you don't have this vision advantage anymore, and just terrified of this RP all the time when ODU can't hit, you're just weak.
So you're both favoring Secret right now, right?
I'm favoring Secret.
I think
yeah.
so, yeah.
Avery, last one on the panel, and I'll just remind everybody, 100% win rate, 9 OD. There have only been 4 games, 3 of them have been Tundra. They've won all of them.
Well, you're convincing me with every stat you throw.
You
I'm
gonna stick
feeling
with the
different.
stats, Avery?
I think Tundra might take this just because this type of playstyle with the lane shove being super obnoxious on the map, so many summons, so many illusions. You lose one hero, your map starts to crumble. It's so annoying in a game 1 scenario. I think that's when you're the least mentally prepared for it. Like, you think you're gonna deal with it, but then you get halfway through and you're like, well, too many things on the map right now, you know?
And this exactly harkens back to what we said at the start. This is a clash of styles, right? You guys said that Tundra has a very set style. Secret, they need to find a way to counter it. This draft pretty much spells that out, right?
Yeah, very much so. I think this is exactly the type of lineup you want right against them.
All right, Fly. Any last thoughts? I mean, what do we need to see from the side of Tundra?
I think Tundra has to do well in their lanes, especially when you got to counterpick their lanes. If their lanes go well, they can slow down the grouping up tempo of Secret.
I'll cut him off.
They're good to go.
All right, Avery, and the side of Secret?
Don't feed too many kills around the map. Make sure when you take the fights, you drop the hammer on the OD
Prepare
instead of
for
the other way
battle.
around, and you get the big RP with your BKB timings. Secure Roshan. Make sure you fight around good areas with your vision. Don't get outclassed by that Mirana ulti.
All right, but yeah, no, you want to see Secret. But of course, we got to be able to check in with our favorite man on stage. It's Interaction Slacks with the coach interview.
30 seconds to battle.
My keyboard is not working. My keyboard is not working. My keyboard is not working.
You're not afraid of spiders, are you?
Thank you, Slacks. That's right, it's Cap and Avery, in case you forgot, Slacks. But here we are. We gotta pause just to be able to catch things up, because we did have this situation where we had the teams kind of walking around while this coach interview was happening. Fortunately, we got this pause. Avery, we were talking about it before this game started. What was the storyline to this upper bracket finals? And for me, you actually said something that I thought was very fitting. You reminded me that Tundra was once upon a time one series away from being able to go to TI 10. They barely missed out on that one.
Very true.
Second chance for them, right? At being able to be here at TI 11, and they made the most of that chance. They've gone very far through the tournament so far. And Secret, of course, everybody knows about that. There's a huge second chance right there. They had to go through the last chance qualifier. That's the ultimate second chance right there.
That's all you get. After that, there was no other opportunity. They've made the most of it, right? I mean, these two teams, second chances, they still have one in the bag too. Upper bracket. Makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you know, hey, if things go wrong, we're still in it.
Yep.
That said, I don't think either of these teams wants to drop down, and they definitely don't want to lose the dominance in terms of the meta, right? Both these teams are trying to define what's going to get them to the finals. If you get there with that definition in place, it gives you a bit of an advantage going into those early games, because now you're saying, hey, no one has broken what we're doing.
Yep.
And especially for Tundra, who I feel like has just had one of the more unique styles this tournament. Banking off the zoo, banking off the lane shove, Outworld Devour. Who else is playing the mid heroes at 9 is playing at this event? Nobody else. I'll answer for you. This is a team that really wants to keep the momentum going and not have people kind of break that strategy and make them second guess things as strong as we think. Because like I always said, right now, playing what feels good.
I was telling Bruno backstage, I was like, I feel like this game, this series could be just like just a stomp of a 2-0. I don't know which side it's going to be, but I feel like it's definitely two different ideas matching up against each other, and somebody's going to walk away right, and somebody is going to be a little lost mid-series in figuring out what to do.
Only possible. This is a make or break situation, and Puppy, the all-time experienced captain, he has made or broken a lot of teams. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go that way. That said, early laning phase, another situation where you have to play versus Tundra offlane, one of the most annoying offlanes in the game. You're always pulling waves, always disrupting the equilibrium.
Yeah.
Never seems like you get that 2v2, so Puppy's already doing a little shenanigans with Soxa down here, chasing him down, trying to meet the waves. Of course, this will give solo XP to the other two, but Soxa does not want to run through mid.
And this is kind of what Puppy was talking about when he was saying that they're just kind of like, I like to refer to Tundra, I'm not sure if I would call them dirty cheaters, but I would say dirty and nerdy. That's the combo that I think of when I'm like, what is Tundra? What makes them dirty and nerdy, man? These guys are the guys who break down the game to a science. They know every little mechanical interaction. They know every little dirty thing you can do in lane in order to swing a bad matchup, and you're seeing it right here. In Secret, they also know that, and they have come up with a plan to be able to deal with that. Puppy's trying to, as you said, meet the pulls together.
I mean, you can call it dirty and nerdy. I don't know. If you're in top 3, I call it just good Dota.
Yeah, that's a good.
Figure out the mechanics, abuse them better than your opponent. One of these things that these guys do the best. Meanwhile, Secret, they're going to have to play with that double melee offlane. So Skeeter's going to have a really good early game. Very nice timing on this Naga. He's playing into Mag. You have to keep in mind this Tundra lineup, they have a couple save mechanics built in versus the big AoE teamfight that Secret's trying to push down later, right? You have to sleep to counter-initiate. You have the Astrals to counter-initiate. It's a lot of time you can waste for this BKB duration that at some point Crystallis might end up going here and trying to take the Roche fights with. Already queuing up Maelstrom, so the more you can deal with the lanes for your supports, the better off Secret's going to feel in this game.
I also feel like the damage on Secret isn't like the fastest in the world. Like I could see a very real scenario where Crystallis maybe give it a first blood, not quite. But just the damage could just be a little bit slow. There goes that save, there goes the song, and you're going to reset.
Like Secret, when they choose a target in this game and they choose to go on it, you have to commit, and you have to commit hard. You also have to get out of these lanes. Like we've seen this Brood just destroy some of these side lanes. 33's having a pretty good time. He has not had to invest a huge amount on regen. Normally these super early waves is where they can struggle, especially in these core matchups like Monkey that tend to abuse him.
Oh, 9!
It's got a fairy fire.
Just as we showed the stat there of how successful OD has been at TI, and specifically, there it is, the 9 OD. The only other team to try out this hero was Team Spirit, who ran it in the offlane with Collapse. Didn't quite work out for them. It is interesting, though. It's the first time they're going to be playing Dire Side OT. Wonder how much that changes.
Quick TP mid.
Yeah, an early rotation that's going to catch 9 perhaps. Oh
Didn't
no,
get
he
over.
ended up on the wrong side of the cliff. 9. I don't know if that was intentional or what. Maybe it was just good old-fashioned luck, but close enough to the cliff there that it puts Science on the wrong side.
Nice little move. He'll sure it up. Still at Fairy Fire. I'm not sure he goes down. There's just not a huge amount of mana in the tank for Nisha there either way, but I think they're happy to get out of this lane in a pretty good position.
Have been killed.
Snaking in his courier. Not gonna be too happy about that one.
Radiant's bottom
even
tower
worse.
is under attack.
Our Ember Spirit
My keyboard is not
did not actually get a chance to refill its bottle, so talking about being low on mana.
King only has
It gets
one
worse.
job.
Looks like Snake King, it's just gonna fall. Resolution. It's way too hard with the 2-2-0 build he's got going on.
Yeah, this is the buff to Shockwave, right? This Mag Hero is pretty strong on lane. Like, he's just chilling here with the ring. Outside of Mirana Nagas, you can't pressure super early. So Rezo's just having the time of his life up here. Even CS with Skeeter, first blood gold on top, even more unstoppable. And him having a good game is really nice, because he has the most flexible item choices to some degree. He can go more for utility, go the Vanguard, Arcane Boots, Mechs, help them skirmish, accelerate the tempo. And at the same time, he's going to scale with those 2 cores.
He steps a little bit too far forward. Crystal's going to come in, trying to help his buddy out here, but it's not going to be enough. Too much damage from 33 and Zoxta. As I believe Puppy thought he was doing a little bit of pulling. 33 is going to take some damage in return. He can jump into the trees and make a go for it. As you can see, Zoxta was even trying to cut down trees to make sure Chrysalis gets caught. But ultimately, feels like just pushing the Broodmother out of lane is good enough for him.
Yeah, honestly, giving Monkey some solo XP might not be the worst. I don't think Puppy wanted to stay down here too much longer.
That was a close call. You see that 9 trying to stop Nisha from being able to pass over the bottle over to the Disruptor. But it did go off and he did get that refill.
Every little thing on the main stage adds up. Puppy's lingering around here, maybe trying to secure the vision for this 6-minute rune. They would really like it to go the Ember's way. Since this OD, of course, not one of the bottle mids. This gives an opening for Nisha to really get these 6-8-minute runes, power up on the map. If it's haste or double damage, he's going to be in heaven.
He's got 3 mangoes at the bank right now, and he just needs 1 creep to die, and he'll have level 6. And that's where that kill power from the OD, especially as he's been ramping up all those imprisonments. So this is a dangerous situation.
There's 3
Zoxta's gonna cut
collapsing
over that 1 creep. It's gonna die right now. He's gonna get his level 6. Now they've got the ultimate to drop it if they want to, and there it goes. They kill the Ember Spirit. Now look to be able to chase down Puppy as well. Puppy with a spiteful last breath kills the Arcane Rune before he does die, but a successful rotation by Tundra, picking up 2.
I see that 6-minute rune getting the level advantage on OD. Those little lane things matter. And 9 will drop that first hammer, cement his fate. No rune for Nisha. That was one he really would have wanted. We'd also see like some of this minor synergy. You're gonna have to care about the Astrals a lot more in this game, because every Astral needs a free arrow for Snake. In the fights and the skirmishes in the river, we didn't really talk about this OD bottom combo, but it's a classic for a reason.
We end this today.
Uh-oh, Chrysalis. He go a little bit too far forward here. He's trying to get the Jingu stacks up and then be able to swap over, hit the big swing that gets him back up to full, and it's 33. Who thought they could challenge the Monkey King? Step to the king, Avery, you best not miss.
Damn straight. That almost pushed him to level 6, so Saul's having a pretty good time down here in this bottom lane. Like, he is really taking it to the Brood, which is exactly what you want to do. You need to slow down this Brood's level 6 timing as much as possible, because that's when he can start to ignore your core matchup, get into the jungle, cut waves, accelerate the farm, get into that Wraith Pack pipe or whatever utility he wants to go. That's what unlocks Tundra's 5-man team fight. If all that gets slowed down because your Monkey King is killing the Brood early, it means your time to get to this Mag and power ramps up considerably. So Secret, I feel like they're having a pretty good time on lanes here. This is probably in the upper band of what you would expect or hope for, especially from a Mag lineup.
Talking about that Mag, when you talking about, okay, more time for the Empower to kick in for the Monkey King and the Ember Spirit, do you think that also means that they feel very comfortable going like pretty far into the late game against the Naga Siren because they have these big steroids coming in? Oh, bottom lane, 33. He's going to be kept in place. Not long enough, though, for the Monkey King to get those stacks.
I mean, I think you're always confident going late game with a triple melee core Mag lineup. Like we said, Tundra does have some of the saves utility to play around with it. Nisha
tossed over, jumps over to his Remnant. Didn't have enough mana for that one.
That's a DD. They can skirmish around mid with it. There's a lot of damage.
Justin's coming in.
Max Slight.
It's dangerous, though. The imprisonment, the self-save underneath tower. They get one last hit. He's going to go for it, Nisha. He wants his kill.
1 second for Slight. of
he
range,
far enough
though.
away? He's out of range. And now they've got the toss up in the air. Oh, into the snowball pickup. Dodges the arrow nicely. They are going to be able to get another round slight. Look at 9. He's creeping in on the side. He's going to come in at the last second to be able to bail out Soxa and get the kill on his Zayat.
Tundra bringing the numbers again to shut down this Ember's momentum. That's a huge, and we can see the damage coming through. And of course, the whole time that flies out, 9 gets to complete his Midas. Already proccing it. This is the build he is favored on this hero the whole tournament. Midas into that Axe Rush. Gonna be extra attack speed and extra item progression for him. Arrows
An
on
arrow. Ooh,
Little early.
range creep first.
A gift from the
Both teams really trying to play around these mids.
Oh, goodness. Look at that stack. Rezo is going to be huge. No stacks on the side of Tundra, so this is going to be, they're already up a bit in net worth. That'll continue with stacks like these.
And 33 just has to walk out of base here. He's choosing to save his TP. Guess they're gonna send him mid. He's tired of going against this Monkey Disruptor kill combo. At the same time, he can't really go against Mag. I don't think he feels great just sitting up there potentially being spotted to play into Vanguard. 33 a little lost this early game. This has been one of the rougher starts for him. I feel like I've seen all tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, he's jungling with Insatiable. This is not the route of progression you want for your offlane Brood here. Trying to get to level 6.
No, you're supposed to get, you're supposed to get 6 in lane, and then, you know, you just are able to, even if your lane is hard, you could still jungle so much faster. In fact, he has to go to level 5. Ugh. That's going to feel terrible for him.
It also pushes Soxa more towards these mid skirmishes, which again, we're seeing 10-minute rune. Might be a bit of trouble. Depends how much Secret commits.
Snowball afterwards should be able to keep him in place. Zero sneaks in from the side. Oh, it actually tosses over Science at the last second. Come off, but is going to be caught by the imprisonment. Probably surrounded here. I don't think Secret can do too much to stop this one. Indeed does fall 9 with a killing spree already.
Radiant's turret has been killed.
Secret's got to be happy about both their side laners just getting full farm and solo XP though. Like sure, you're winning some of these mid skirmishes a little bit. You're contesting the runes. Ember, he's getting his economy drained a bit. He has some power to catch up. Rezo and Crystallis just having free-for-all the first 10 minutes here. And like you said, they are gonna be big.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Rezo, I feel like he's had 2 different modes this TI, one of which has been like this carry style offlaner who he just is like picking up second most net worth on Team Secret, is just absolutely destroying in the mid to late game. The other mode is where he's just running around with Science nonstop. They're just constantly looking for kills. It's definitely going to be the former one. Renzo's just going to take a lot more time farming in this game.
Play carry Mag to a degree. He did opt for the Vanguard, will go Blink. It is a tri-carry lineup. They're fine going moderately late here, no matter what. Quick smoke from Secret, trying to activate the Strengthless Magnus with the catapult. Push this Tiny out of here. They don't want to let Tundra just sit up here and leech XP, especially when nobody can defend this tower on their own.
If they successfully kill this Tiny cleanly, they can go ahead, take the tower, get a decent bit of map control, especially since Crystallis is still able to hold his safe lane, no problem. Tundra just really hasn't been able to activate around that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to double man smoke yourself, which is exactly what Tundra is doing.
Found him. Got him in. Shards, Shockwave, and Soxa. Well, all you can really do is delay the inevitable at this point in time. There is going to be the rotation to bottom, so now we are seeing that activation to the other side of the map. Question is,
Crystallis should read this though, right?
Yeah.
You know no one's defending top. This Naga's sending illusions mid.
it's so greedy to try and hold your safe lane tower like that one. The arrow's going to come around, but he was already on the trees. An interesting interaction where midway through the air, he got hit by the imprisonment, but managed to land on the trees anyway, and the arrow was off the mark as a result.
I mean, what is an astral prison to a king?
That's true.
He does not care about your physics.
to have this.
And that's a huge gank dodge, because that kill is the kill that's going to convert on this tier 1, right? Now he can stay down here, he can play in the trees. Secret can have teleports up to take the fight if they want to. Especially with Ember, the mobility on the map, Secret's invading your jungle. His lead can build a decent amount here in the next minutes if Secret make like one more good move. Meanwhile, Puppy's just been soaking the levels mid. I mean, he's 6.5 with Arcane Boots. He is farming up a storm, as Puppy likes to do.
That is true. He's had a very long career, and most of it has been playing sort of a greedier style 5 position.
Denied.
Because he's still, like, you know, you talk about, like, the captains, the old dogs who play 5 positions still. And there's so much talk about, like, oh, well, the strategy and drafting they do. But Puppy, when it just comes down to the play, he's still got it, man. he is still one of the best buy positions
Radiant's
from a
middle
mechanical
tower
perspective.
is under attack.
Oh, absolutely. He's also one of the best at killing creeps.
Well, that's a mechanic of sorts. Invis, Moonlight Shadow, they're going to be able to set up the toss into arrow combination that catches Nisha looking around in that dire jungle. Tundra reclaimed that bit of real estate, while they're also simultaneously taking the mid tower. Maybe not right now, the Spiders, they'll eventually do their duty and bring it down. So
This is the downside of Secret Support Duo. They do not deal with the Broodlings. So 33 can have his way in terms of cutting waves, pressuring buildings, forcing Secret Cores to split up. And that's where those moves from Tundra with Moonlight Shadow or the vision they have on the map from Naga makes it a lot easier for those to work. This is where Secret have to choose how they play the map, and they have to choose it carefully. If they have more anchor points like this Monkey or Mag they feel are strong, they'll just group up.
Blink reveal, skewer back, small little distance. They do hit a nice combo onto Zayas here, but they might be able to catch both here. The beautiful static storm, the chains on top. Snake King's gonna get run down. Zaxa does get bailed out though by 9. And that OD hits pretty hard. They don't want to play around him. They want to finish off that support, and they do claim it. 33, who's kind of hovering around here, isn't able to do much considering the lack of farm that he has. Doesn't really have an item to play with just yet, which is going to be that Wraith back build.
Ended up claiming that tier 1 mid with the Broodlings on the back end.
That's nice.
And steals the rune from Nisha, so getting a little extra damage in. Of course, that was the Mag Blink reveal. Maybe not the best target Secret wanted there. They would have really liked to just RP this OD and take the fight without that save. That's going to be a big consideration as well, right? When Rezo blinks in, you have to keep track of the Astrals. You have to keep track of this Naga song. If you get turned around on, all of a sudden, maybe your Static Storm is gone. Maybe you expended some remnants in that RP. Fight's looking a little worse, right? Yep. Wukong as well. There's a lot of static spells that Secret can drop in these team fights. It gets reset. You have to matters a lot. So when Rezo wants to fight, kind of the big key here for Secret.
Oh, nice sidestep there. Instantly read the where award was going to be, and he actually picks up the last hit before Snake King can get the deny.
Secret baiting this bottom. Rezo pre-TPing. Stalls might get aggressive here. He has Maelstrom online already.
And with the first follow-up snowball, just 100 to 0, nice and easy. And now Tundra, this little push that they were looking for, it's immediately denied.
Secret is doing a very nice job of holding their map. They're not building a huge advantage, but it's hard to do versus Naga Brood, who are just going to excavate the lanes no matter what.
Yeah.
The one advantage they're building is some of this XP, right? You look at Rezo, he's level 12. Compare this to some of the Tundra cores. Skeeter just got 10. The Brood was suffering for a while, it's still only 9.5. So Secret does have a decent level advantage here, especially on their Monkey and on their Magnus. Here's another smoke, looking to use Magnet to strength right now. Convert it into some map control.
Cleared out that bottom right-hand side of the map. Now they're going to sweep through the map and try and catch somebody the very opposite end. The problem is this Naga Siren's pushing in so aggressively. It's no heroes are showing on the map. Tundra's just playing safe.
This is going to be the name of the game. Like, if you can get these smokes to land, they're crazy valuable, but good luck, right? How are you ever going to catch anything in this map when Tundra can always just force you to show? Now you showed Rezo back on his own. Here's the setup.
Into arrow, Snake King on point there, and before the Mag even wakes up from that stun, he is dead. Also look for that, we've got a Blink Dagger Tiny now on the loose, the side of Tundra, so this just increases the kill power when they do split Secret up, when they do force them to show on these side lanes. This individual kill power of Tiny and Mirana, or the OD Mirana, whatever it is, going to be scary, especially for Crystallis, who keeps on trying to hold this safe lane and doing so successfully, honestly. I mean, he is known as a Monkey King expert, and he's showing why. The fact that he's been so wily, staying away from Tundra this entire time.
He's gonna have to tank the smoke.
But the Coyote might have just finally... Oh, that rotation was close. Crystallis dips away to the trees.
Said Blink Tiny here. And also Blink can eat his tree. Does that Boundless?
Catch Snake King, thinking about the Wukong's man. Now this is a little bit of a stretch. Crystallis really trying hard for this one. The rest of his team not quite there. Snake King is going to be caught, no leaps in hand. And they do get the glimpse backwards here with a snowball on top of that one. 2 pickups. Very valuable for Secret. Those are 2 big killers on the map. So now Secret, they could split up probably pretty aggressively here and try and push in the waves.
That was the one spot Secret wanted to bring everybody because it's where all their vision is. They don't have much vision on any of this top portion where Skeeter has just been constantly pushing his lane, stealing triangle farm. 33's in their jungle, scouting out with Broodlings. the vision is always going to be a constant battle for Secret, so they really have to maximize what they get out of it. And that just means bringing the numbers. Every time you bring the numbers and Tundra get out without losses, they're super happy. If you lose a couple of heroes there, it means you're probably losing an objective. Secret get the most out of that play, and it's going to push this Monkey King up to BKB, 200 gold. It's a very big item for him. It means he can commit in the fight. Your Astrals don't control him as much anymore. You can't just arrow him.
It's also great for split pushing, right? Like,
Yep.
he can deal with the split pushing because now if he gets imprisonment,
Yes.
okay, I'm just going to pop BKB if they try and arrow me. So
Every item that helps him stay out on the map independently is going to be amazing for Secret here. It's going to be Ags done on Outworld Devour, I believe. So this is a big power spike for Tundra. They also have Orchid on this Naga.
The rune of
They're
regeneration.
not ready. If you get Orchided out on one of these cores, Nisha is not close to BKB. He's still 1,000 off. Tundra really want a big core kill into Roshan here.
oh yeah,
Radiant's
getting a
middle
pick off
tower
on
is
Nisha
under
would definitely
attack.
be the most amazing
Radiant are
opportunity
scanning.
for Tundra.
I mean, look at
But
Secret group though.
yeah, the spider crawling all over the map is one of the advantages of the Brood Mother. You feed away a little bit of gold and experience, but what you gain out of it, the vision, what you see, that information is very much worth the exchange.
And sometimes what you don't see, that scan clipped them on Roche, so Secret thinks they're Roshing right now. Nobody's home.
Yeah, it's gonna break. Snake King. Is he gonna be able to leap away successfully in time? All 3 leap charges used to get out of town. Resolution not gonna be able to find that opening with Blink Dagger. So
Secret's going to think about this tier 1 mid, and they're also going to think about Roche here. Remember, their Roche teamfight is absolutely insane, as long as you don't get Song.
that is a very good point. They've got all this good AoE, like area control team fight between the Static Storm, the RP, the Wukong's command, but it all goes away if you get songed at the wrong time.
But I feel like you man up for it here if you have the Ember BKB.
Yeah.
If they're 200 off this,
Is under attack.
might be why they're hesitating a little. I think if you had that BKB plus the Monkey BKB, that contest is just not there for Tundra. You just BKB up near the end of Roche, or go any type of Song contest. You're super happy committing for this objective. Nisha's gonna go bottom, try and deal with the split push, which is always gonna be a nuisance. Denied, he'll take it as well.
Very nicely played, but does he get out?
Morana ults.
Oh, here it comes.
Orchid as well.
He has an illusion root,
He
so
does.
they know about this. They can't just Orchid him straight up. They've got to be able to find a way for him to be able to pop that and then catch him afterwards. But Nisha, he held and held and held. He's like, I'm not popping this. I bet the only reason he went to that bottom lane was because of that power rune.
Definitely
in his
that
pocket.
deep. Yeah, he would have been out of there way sooner. He didn't have that. Saves his life from the shadows, quite literally. And that'll push him to his BKB. I think Secret is now a lot more confident to force Roshan. And as we see, straight into the pit. They have max tag team out on this Tuskar, so this is going to drop pretty fast. Tundra do have an option to contest here. Remember, they have pretty much everything up, and they have this raid pact on Brood. But it's going to be a little too hard to push through this middle lane. That'll be an objective for Secret, and a big one.
Wow. I'm very surprised they're giving this up with the Naga Siren on their team. But at the same time, if they can test and lost, I feel like that would be the beginning of a Secret would just take a huge lead at that point in time, right? You would get map control.
Absolutely disastrous. Yeah, and I just think it's not even a favorable fight for them right now.
Fair.
Like at the point where both those cores get BKB off, now you have to fight into Wukong, you have to fight into an RP. Rezo can stay super far back. He went 4-staff Blink. So his catch range and initiation range went up a lot. This 4-staff can also help save people from an arrow combo, right? As long as they're facing the right way, force them a little deeper, it forces Tundra to commit with you. That sets up for your AoE turnaround a lot. This is the part where I feel like Secret's a lot stronger as long as they can connect. And Rezo connects.
Cut across the map. Does manage to get the Tiny here. 3-man Avalanche is going to buy him a bit more time. Actually gets the other side of the charge. There is going to be the snowball that chases them down. So they're only going to get the one.
Yeah, nice
which
little
Tundra is probably accepting of a smoke for a forward position.
They'll take it. You do have to think about how much of the map you're giving up here.
That's true.
Again, your Naga and Brood can like split push these lanes out, but you're losing on the XP advantage every time you make this trade. You have to win that fight. And the more of those you give up, the harder that XP hill is to climb. And I'm serious, look at these levels. You have a level 11, level 12 cores compared to level 14 or 15s. There's already a significant gap. That means another level of talents, so more goal on the map.
Do you feel like that's something that is more valuable than it has been in previous patches? Because nice catch there.
Just found it.
What a beautiful skewer. Saxa was looking for a toss back there, couldn't quite get it, and looks like they're just going to be maybe not. Nine walking out of the Wukong Smith. He gets glimpsed back though, and now he dies. Now they actually get the slight chains onto 33 as well with the double BKB pop and the Static Storm on top of that. That was going to be 2 cores dead on the side of Tundra. Nisha The last remnant of BKB hunting for even more heroes, but Saksa said, you want me? I jumps in, doesn't quite finish him off. The snowball save gets him away. A skewer back almost catches Snaking, but he managed to leap out. Glimpse doesn't pull him back far enough either, so Saksa daring to dive in like that was a bold move. Almost got the kill on Science, but instead ends in his own future.
More advantage going Secret's way and need 5-on-5s. Just doesn't feel like Tundra can take the full mana fight. Of course, Odie getting caught is worst case scenario, right? Anytime they can displace him, take the fight around the fact that Odie has to Astral himself, they're going to be super happy to do so. And of course, that glimpse, you got to think about it here. Like, this is a very powerful tool in this game to just keep Tundra heroes where Secret wants them. You can save your buddy, but what happens after the saves are gone?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great, like, with more kind of spell, right?
Yep.
They win this initial part of the engagement where they get 9 out of the way. And once it's forced, Tundra is like, we can't fight back, we have to retreat. That Glimpse becomes probably one of the best support tools in the game.
And I really like how Secret's itemized this game. Like, they are not being a lot of their heroes. Rezo went the Vanguard Force Staff so he can bail somebody out.
Okay.
Puppy's just going the Lotus. That's going to help deal with the Naga Orchid and the net for Ember, right? This is an item built for the Ember Spirit to help Nisha in the fight. And of course, you have Tuskar who now gets his Blink, so you have Blink Snowball save online as well. Powerful tools for to read those arrow combos. If arrow combos aren't landing, your next best bet is these tossbacks. Try and displace the fight yourself, right? Throw people into the OD hits, into the Naga illusions. Abuse the vision to a maximum.
Sounds like right now the supports have to do a lot of heavy lifting on a sided Tundra, and even then can be countered. See what they can do though. Tundra are going to go for a 5-man smoke. This is I feel like we haven't seen them do this in maybe the whole game.
Yeah, they might find the side touch. They will.
Yeah, they will. They're going to toss him over the side here into the Orchid. Now, Puppy shows up. He actually
ran in.
Going into this one. The Static Storm goes down. The Wukong's man on top of that one. They're going to chain him with the stun from Chrysalis. Make sure that the Marauder can't get away. Actually, Imprisonment save. The 5 position is going to come back. The statues and the slight. Make sure he stays down.
Another toss back here if Tundra want to think about it. Oh, Rezo is going to displace him first, though.
Yeah, there goes the toss over the side. So both the repositioning spells being used here. But an RP locking out the 2 of them. The OD ultimate was dropping on BKB. Misha, they're going to fight it out with Chrysalis. So the song isn't going to be enough for Skeeter unless, there it is, the imprisonment with the song on top of that one. Now the beat's failing out. Tundra, are they going to be able to be the ones to catch over hero after hero? A glimpse back, not going to do enough. It's going to be Nisha caught by the Orchid. Drained of everything he has, including his life. They may have had the Aegis on Team Secret, but it's Tundra who come out the victors in that well-played team fight.
Oh, these long team fights are going to be Secret's bane in this game because these Astrals add up. They're just out of mana by the time that fight is done. You look at that Ember's mana pool and the death pool, it's 580. You got nothing left to do anything by the time this fight progresses past that song. Just an awkward initiation too, right? Both Secret supports pretty much taken out at the start to some degree. Puppy has to drop the full kit. Just look how much this Mirana death gets stalled. Wasn't snaking by, but now we're getting more player.
Static Storm trying to protect him, but it looks like with the imprisonment, it's probably going to be enough. Now, Zoxa's life is going to get traded out 1 for 1, but they do have the ensnare on the Monkey King here. He doesn't have his BKB, not for another 20 seconds. See the big time trouble. They do manage to get the skewer back on to 9, but without the Monkey King, do they have anything to take advantage of this one? They do have the Ember Spirit coming in hot. 9, he needs to get out of here, but this damn kinetic field is locking him in place. Nietzsche goes for the kill, and Nietzsche will claim it. Shockwave managed to finish him up the end. Now with the BKB, he's going to challenge Skeeter. Doesn't really have the damage against the Naga Siren, so we won't find a secondary kill during that BKB timing. But it did cost Secret a buyback there from the Disruptor.
Expensive. You can see how chaotic these fights can become very fast for Secret. They won't take the more organized 5-on-5 engagements where they get their big spells off and kill a core. The second these Astrals starts coming out, Lotus Astrals, arrows flying through on top of summons, on top of illusions, on top of Broodlings. It's too much gunk to keep track of. And
Yep.
at that point, especially if your BKBs are out, the fight just becomes a nightmare.
I like this pickup. Snaking, grabbing the gem. Now that Tundra have kind of gotten back some of that map control away from Secret, down some of these wards. Map goes dark for Secret. It becomes even harder to deal with these kind of split push lineups, right? When you don't have the vision.
It becomes harder to team fight too. I think Secret's a bit reliant on the jumps at this point, I think. It's about who they initiate on, how they anchor that engagement. Ideally, it's OD every time. Trying to do
game, but it's not dead even anymore. No BKB on the Ember Spirit.
Well done.
Gets caught by the Moonlight Shadow rotation of Tundra.
Map is just way too hard to play. Secret need to do something to regain some vision control, regain some lane control. Not necessarily going to get easier for them in the next 10 minutes here. Again, there's just so much ghost push happening on the map. You have Naga Illusions cutting top, Ruben's cutting bottom. Tundra can group, Tundra can pick you off and not have to show that much to do it. Another toss back mid on this mag. Getting forced out.
Brisbane reset here. Lumpy. That's going to be a dieback on him. That's why he's kind of dropping everything. Ultimately, you're going to be dead for a solid 60, 70 seconds. Might as well throw all your spells out there.
Same cooldown.
It really is.
You are giving some extra mana away.
Radiant's middle
Gonna
tower
be a
is
little
under
bit.
attack.
Picking up a lot of momentum now on the Tundra side, a 4,000 net worth lead, and they're the ones now assaulting buildings. And I think that's such a scary part of these split push lineups when they start getting on your side of the map. It becomes harder and harder to get it all back, right? You feel like you're
Radiant's
constantly,
middle
oh, now
tower
this
is
lane's being
under
pushed
attack.
in. Now our tier 2 is falling, the tier 3 is exposed.
The Tundra playbook.
Yeah.
This is what you have to be ready for in this tournament. I think Secret's idea is we get this mag lineup, we have a bunch of cores who can shove out the lanes, scale really well, take the late game fights. You can't get there, it's a problem though. And yeah, who's Titan Sliver?
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
who
tower
left that
is under
behind?
attack.
Somebody has a regret in the jungle.
See, we'll check out the Tundra side. Oh, there it is. It was the Tundra. All right, well, that's a freebie for Secret. Oh, look at that.
They didn't want it.
Or maybe don't look bad.
They don't want any handouts,
Radiant's
Cap.
top tower is under
Want to win
attack.
this game fair and
That's
square.
damn.
Radiant are
The alpha
scanned.
move is you pick that up and you give it back to them.
Radiant's top tower
That's the
is
next
under
level
attack.
play.
You should game on top of that.
Radiant's top
Ultimate
tower
mental
is
damage
falling.
being done.
I mean, that is something Puppy would do. I want to beat you at full strength.
Next Roshan is going to be so crucial, right? I mean, you have gone on tire. Yay! Rezo finds it in the end. Hey, look, there's the Titan Sliver.
I've never heard such a resounding cheer for a neutral item in my life.
It's going to pass over the Monkey King, so that's a pretty significant not only damage buff, but also the status resistance could be
very nice.
very crucial.
Roche does spawn here, but the biggest question is you need lanes out to be able to deal with it, right? I don't think you just go in the pit and force it like you did last time if you're Secret. Maybe Tundra sleeping, but I wouldn't bank on it. They always have that sleep up, so you have to find a way to deal with these. Or
Shadows.
just there's a limit to that. When you have Night Shadow, when you have the vision Tundra has,
Yeah.
it's just too much weight for Nisha to do it all. Now you're forced in a position where you gotta win the 5-on-5 clash. Tundra doesn't have to force it here either. They do have a Hex on Brood.
Radiant's middle tower is
If he
under
gets the
attack.
initiation with it, might be something not expected, does not BKB preemptively for.
They throw an illusion up
Radiant's
into the
bottom
triangle
tower
area,
is
trying to
under
get some
attack.
information. Secret is smoked up, though. So Tundra, they start moving north. They think, okay, maybe they're up here somewhere. Not actually the case.
Gotta find this OD or you've gotta skewer one of these cores back pretty deep. And then just triple
Radiant's
BKB
middle
man up.
tower is under
So you think
attack.
of the state of team fights, it's much easier for Tundra to win, and it's Secret who have this, like, the onus on them. There's this one play they have to do in order to win a fight.
I think
Radiant's
Tundra's super
bottom
comfortable in this
tower is
game
under
state. I mean, they're
attack.
also dire. They can abuse buybacks on the dire outpost for this Roche fight.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of things going their way right now. It's just so hard for Secret to make a move without Tundra knowing it and without knowing where they're coming from. They also have bailout tools. They can use support buybacks on the front line. They can use the tossback. They can use a force staff. The initiation is not guaranteed to go Secret way. You might just get hexed when you blink in. You might get astral.
Enough.
You have to worry about them potentially just forcing it as well if you don't have vision. The Glimpse checking the Naga status. It will be real.
Yep. Of course, what you're referencing there is illusions. They do get one shot by Glimpse, so if you hit an illusion, just instantly pops. Problem is, there's so many of them.
Radiant's middle tower
Puppy
is
doesn't
under
mind doing a
attack.
little illusion farming in the downtime. I think Tundra's contemplating whether they just need this triangle, but it's pretty much the only way Secret wins a fight at this point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just chipping away at the mid-tier 2, there's really no rush to go into that
Radiant's
triangle,
middle
right?
tower
You could
is
just
under
force
attack.
them to bottom eventually.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to force it this game, and
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
so he's anything.
I don't know what mix-up of button clicks that one was, but he force staffed and horn tossed, but didn't blink forward.
Soxa thinking about blind jumping,
Radiant's middle tower is under
cutting his way
attack.
through.
He's gonna find Science and toss him back over to the side. He's just immediately gonna try and take advantage of this. He's gonna get on the snowball. They're gone on top of the OD. That's all important, but he has the imprisonment. He's gonna come back into Chrysalis with the stun, but he blinked away just before the stun could have hit. And that is so much of the team fight on the side of Secret now. Tundra is going to continue to retreat though. Instantly the side forward onto the Magnus. He tried to go forward, but he has the outdits as well. So he's going to be okay. And that hammer did absolutely nothing. Finish off the taunt. Not slightly is there with no beacon. He will die for extending. Now Nine goes in deep though with the RP. They land exactly what they needed there to turn the fight. Two cores going down to the side now with a buyback on sides. They're going to finish off Soxa. He gets tossed over. Maybe snaking low. Beaten down. Chrysalis versus Skeeter. A one-on-one carry matchup where Skeeter has the health advantage and he's got the ensnare. He's got the illusion. He surrounds the Monkey King. And now Nine comes back into play as well for the +1. Rezo for Staff Skewer on away. They're trying to catch him, but Nine so close to be able to get off that extra imprisonment. But the blink goes first. Ultimately, Tundra walk away the victors.
I mean, honestly, it's not the worst outcome considering that Wukong stun completely whipped on that OD. I thought that fight was going to be way more hard. And of course, you force this OD buyback. So that's a huge deal for Secret here. You're going to lose the Roche, but this Roche was just... I don't think it was in the cards at this point in the game anyway. You're going to have to kind of wait out this Naga's timings, go ultra late, use buybacks in a 50-minute plus situation here. That is the key to victory for Secret. And right now, Tundra, they're going to have free reign on the map. OD buyback, but he gets the Aegis.
So just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, you think even though they got Roshan on the side of Tundra, the fact that they were already so far ahead in your head, that team fight was kind of a win for Secret? Just the fact that, as you said,
I mean, I'm not going to call it a win. You know? It doesn't
a draw,
feel good.
maybe?
But just considering how that fight started and how hard it is for Secret to find these initiations, when we see here, Tundra's completely reset, right? Yeah. Even on this second go, Rezo just gets insta-hex. His jumps are just very hard. Nisha tries to commit in, but at this point, again, your BKB is gone. You have no backup dispel. Yeah. The team fights become near impossible at this point. So the fact you got an OD buyback out of missing a Wukong stun is pretty good in my book.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And it's all thanks to Resolution being able to hit that RP. And perhaps a little overextension there from Nine, but ultimately he had the buyback. Was able to use it to secure Roshan and has the Aegis now. The next 4 minutes.
You were talking about that hammer doing nothing. Something I've just been laughing over in this game is Nine's been running around with this Eye of the Vizier.
Yes, the minus 15% max mana. That's how much value he puts on cast range.
He's just playing for the Astrals. Yeah, I don't need a high mana pool, you know? I'll make it up with the saves, make it up with the dispels. Of course, you get mana from the Astrals, so...
I mean, he's probably jealous of Puppy. Puppy's sitting there rocking a psychic headband.
Very true.
He's like, that's the cast range item that OD really wants.
This is the future of Dota, where ODs lower their own mana pool for the dub. I mean, it's also Tundra's game plan for the fights, right? They don't need to burst somebody, they don't need to take some super short oriented fight, they just need to play it long, get a huge amount of rounds of spells off.
Both the supports getting caught here. It's Puppy who's going to be run down. Looks like the Tusk maybe got away. Did. Well, he almost did. Well, Resolution's going to be found. Now he's got Skewer and he's got Aeon Disc. So, let's see how far away he gets here. Is an opportunity for him to be able to blink away during this Aeon Disc, or no? Hit by the arrow. Oh, he still gets it off. As status resistance lasted just long enough, he bogs them and TP's out. What an escape from Rezo. Twice now, the Aeon Disc that he picked up comes in clutch.
Absolutely clutch. Doing a little tree work as well. Never hurt anybody. Yep. That's a lot of time, and every time Secret buys some time, it means they can get another lane out. Give them some remnant of map control and vision. They're pretty much stuck in the base at this point. Of course, I don't think they have any inclination of fighting this Aegis too much.
No, absolutely not.
And Tundra's caught up in the levels, they've caught up in the items. Skeeter is super far ahead in this game, 30k net worth. Opted for Bloodthorn, Butterfly, and BKB. This is like a man fight build, right?
Yes.
This is a build where he just wants to run in man fight Secret cores. You're not going to be able to out right click me.
Allies.
Yeah, that Aeon Disc status was
able to get away.
Middle tower is under attack.
Work.
Back looking live. We have the RP. The lands onto the Naga Siren, but he's showdown tanky. They need to be able to 100% him there, but they've got the imprisonment plus the shard. So he's going to be able to walk it off, all thanks to that Roshan pickup. What a glut here, though. Locking out a bunch of heroes. They also got on top of it. Once again, the OD, they're just walking away from this one. It's an imprisonment save. They jump back over 33, who look to be able to finish off Puppy. Has the and now the song where he's they built us in prison. 9's in the position. Arrow goes out. BKB from Chrysalis. Takes that one down. Secret on full retreat here. Are they all going to get away from this one? Tundra, do they have anything left? Nisha, he barely got away. Glimpse back, goes around. They have the Lotus Orb to deal with the silence. That part is so hard. I love the Lotus Orb from Puppy, but it's so hard for him to be around this Ember Spirit all the time. Dodge away.
Oh, they're good.
Skewer back at the same time. The slide and jump away from Nisha. Saksa thought he had an opportunity to trade his life for a big core, but Nisha's Ember Spirit is just too elusive.
No more tosses for you. Rezzo's getting fed up with these tossbacks, man. He is the ultimate displacer in this game. These fights, they just go long. Gotta save those BKBs. I was surprised Cristal still had his arrow at the end. I thought it was gonna be expelled for sure. Very patient here from Seeker, and of course the tactical retreat. Not losing anybody in all of that?
That's pretty crazy.
Even Puppy was on like 10 or 20 HP there. The Broodlings in the back. Managed just to walk it off. Fluffy hat. Sometimes the 40-minute Fluffy hat comes in pretty handy.
Don't take away that hat. Took it straight from Zions, probably.
These Astrals are going to be a problem. Like, Puppy's building towards Ags, but of course, OD Astral doesn't care too much about the Ags unless you're catching him in it, right?
Yeah. True, which you kind of need. So, whoa, it's a two-man skewer. Do they have any stuff to follow it up there? CRP right for the tier 3 Static Storm on top of that one. The imprisonments, once again, the BKB is going to go out from Skeeter, and he gets the song up. Once again, they find this beautiful initiation, but Skeeter's Naga Siren is too tanky. He doesn't die fast, and we talked about that problem 30 minutes ago. They do not have the ability to burst down heroes, in which case 9 is always able to take his time getting the imprisonment saves.
They just need more damage in order to convert on these finds, because they're finding them. They found the real Naga multiple times now. Like you said, just not enough damage to kill him. There's going to be an Astral save. There's going to be a song follow-up. At that point, he just walks it off. Initiation's so difficult. Now you're getting turned on. Bloodthorn going to work here, shredding Zayat.
Definitely no shortage of damage on the Tundra side. You have that Bloodthorn.
I mean, you've got to be able to check the OD on these other initiations or find him. You have to do both things at once, right?
Yeah.
Finding the Naga, finding the Brood, that's great. But if they can just walk it off every time, Tundra's not losing too much on these ghosts. You are heading into very late game territory here.
So who are you assigning, like, who has what duty? Do you assign Rezzo? Like, you just look for any good initiation, and then what? Chrysalis, you try and jump onto the OD, or what's the play here?
I'm not sure. It's not easy. Depends who thinks they have that
nice
damage.
Force Staff! Cuts the king down from his perch here.
Does have BKB if he can get it off.
He does have BKB, but he may not have an opportunity. Imprisonment at the last second. He's got some regen coming in. He's going to survive through this and get off the BKB.
Well.
Throws out the stun and huge shield with a chain panic. Now the Wukong's command. The imprisonment once again. The Song of Siren.
Doesn't want to.
He needs to be able to jump out, but they're going to go back in. Do they find him? He's a tree right there. He's right there. He found him. They hit him. He's not going to be able to jump onto the trees. He's still inside the Wukong's command, but Skeeter doesn't care. He's got his delusions. He's got his whole crew signing up for duty to bring down the Chrysalis Monkey, and he's dead for 80 seconds. A huge opportunity now for Tundra to perhaps break open that high ground.
No buyback for 150 gold.
Well, they don't know that, though.
I don't think they have much interest in going high ground. I think they have interest in taking over the map. And even more farmer and their supports who are reaping the biggest benefit out of all this. Hell, Snaking's level 20 on this Mirana basically with full Aeon disc. Even these supports are becoming very difficult to kill.
Avalanche, toss, arrow coming in. No.
Just sending the message.
Just keeping them off. You can't push out these lanes too far. Meanwhile, spiders, illusions, the whole zoo is here to play.
Sox is building an Aeon disc of his own.
Visibility.
I don't know how you kill this Tundra backline. It seems impossible. Pretty much have to find a good core, have to find the Skewer RP. Lock down OD with this Static Storm. Maybe this Disruptor Ags is the key to making something happen here.
They're just very calm, clear communication from Tundra. I'm sure they feel very comfortable in this game. I mean, you said it. They felt comfortable like 15 minutes ago. Now, with a 19,000 net worth lead and closing in on Secret bit by bit, they are tightening the noose.
You see everything. What's there not to be comfortable with, right? You know where Secret are at all times. You have control over where the fights take place and how the initiations go for the most part. Secret pretty much are only going to get the jump if they smoke out, plant a ward, and just see everything off it. Now you just get Roshan here. Absolutely no contest in the books if you're Secret.
It's going to be Refresher Shard. Do you think they had a preference there? Negatives or Refresher Shard?
Honestly, maybe your Refresher here. I mean, you already have like bags on the heroes you wanted, right?
Sure.
Even this Naga has one, so...
In which case now we can drop double Sanus Eclipse. I mean, we could get 4 imprisonments pretty easily. I mean,
Double Hex.
you could hit a 4-man RP on the side of Resolution. It may not do anything if 9's not in it.
He'll do absolutely nothing. He'll just drop the double hammer, double hex. He's gonna turn the fight around again, so you have to find the angle. Nice skewer
Away! The long one, Snake King, blocked by the kinetic field actually. The second one gets around it, and on the side, we're gonna see Puppy pay for that kinetic field perhaps. The Spider look to be able to chase out, and the hammer gets dropped. 9 turns around, bring back the second support was down. So looks to try and find 4. Well, we he did bomb his BKB, the Bloodthorn. Get that one. You use kind of think they have on the side of Secret. You're gonna have to pull up. They may just have to give up.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They just get enough damage in the tank. I think even at this point, if you land him and he doesn't Astral, doesn't matter. He still has Aegis. He still has the butterfly evasion.
Radiant's middle
Just
barracks.
not cutting through enough of this. You really need
Skewer though. The skewers are always an
Astral.
opportunity. 9 in turn. Those are the imprisonments. They cannot seem to be able to lock down these 1 heroes because 9 is always there with the field to get the save. They have that buyback though on the Disruptor. They need to make it work. It's something here. They get the glimpse back, but again, the Astrals, the imprisonments, they keep on going down. And this is still the first life. Soxton with the tops over on Anisha. He doesn't have BKB. He's caught by the side. And now the song wake up back up, and there's the second side. Wait, and the vulnerability over and over again, but he couldn't get away. He does have a buyback. They're going to try and get the dieback on the Puppy here. Lotus Sword bouncing back some spells. Another skewer over the side through the kinetic field. They caught 9. They hit him with the stun. The fight here. He's dead. All important. Finally, the OD is the one that gets caught in the initiation for Resolution, gets caught in the trap. And now the rest of Tundra, there is no song, there is no imprisonment.
OD buy.
OD coming back. Uh-oh. They cannot afford this Nagas armor to die. Pops him in. Dodge there on the stun. The arrow coming in. Goes wide. He's focusing on Resolution. He does not want to get skewered any longer. The BKB is going to wear out soon. They've gotten on top of 9. Well, it's maybe just the Tusk who's gotten on top of 9. Nisha has the second round of the BKB. There goes the imprisonment. Crystal
Have to get OD
and they
here.
blow up off of this one side. Oh, that skewer is off the mark. He blinks away first. And that, without being able to catch 9, so much of their extension here on Secret is being ruined. Again and again, the imprisonment throwing out the damage, just made it remnant. He still got 9. There is still a buyback on Skater, but both 9 and 33 use theirs in a losing game. That is a glimmer of hope, Avery.
That is more than a glimmer. That is like best case scenario. You're fighting Aegis. You're fighting so many saves, so many of these skewers on point for Resolution. This is the only reason they're still in this game. It's just dragging them insanely far back with the talent, with the Aether Lens. You can get them real deep. And of course, that's a 3-for-3 buyback situation. I don't even think you're too sad if you're Secret out of this scenario.
Yeah. We saw a whole lot of this guy at TI-10, the Magnus. The hands of collapse now.
Channeling his
Resolution channeling his fellow countrymen in collapse, trying to show off.
You have to fight the crossbacks as well. And,
man, crazy.
I mean, it's another scenario where your Wukong does absolutely nothing. If anything, Naga is healing for it. Your Ember's dying to the hexes in the back.
Yeah.
We do see, though, this OD, if he gets caught, I mean, what a horn toss skewer here. Yeah, they got stuck on the static field, but I guess it just gets overridden. If you can find that OD and take him out, all of a sudden, Tundra have to rout. Like, their saves go away. A lot of the chip damage and the glimpses and all of this become way more powerful for Secret. But you have to be able to find him, and that is the trick in this game.
Yeah, like, Secret, they may have gotten the buyback out of them, but I feel like they're not going to be able to take advantage of it. I think they're going to be stuck inside their base. There's no way they can go for some crazy all-in. It just comes down to one team fight sort of play. I think Tundra's just going to lock them out. Just wait for the buybacks to come back up.
That's why I said this game is going to go late, because not only Secret's giving up their base easy, and they're ready to defend it. At the same time, Tundra's building damage is very poke-oriented. They can't just force a throne in a buyback situation, right?
Yeah.
That fight does not favor them, especially when you start getting skewered into the fountain. We'll talk about skewering into the fountain for a viable strategy, but at this point, it is something Secret can think about. Like, the ranges on some of these, you have a refresher as well. You can blink RP, skewer, refresh, skewer again, RP in the fountain again.
Yeah.
That's one way to help deal with some of these heroes, or separate the fight by such a distance that the Astrals just can't come through.
That level 20 talent in Aether Lens. And as you said, the refresher, it's a very real possibility. And if they get the right initiation, maybe they don't even need the fountain anymore, because now they've got an Aghanim Scepter Disruptor. So you hit 9. He's done so. He gets the Static Storm on top of him. He's not going to be able to do anything to stop it. He'll just melt.
If you hit him, beautiful. Even if you don't, you're doing that to make the OD show.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
9 has to think about when he shows in these fights and how he's doing it. If he commits to try and get the save, he opens himself up.
Right.
That's when you get chains into a Static Storm, something like that. And remember, this OD has been playing this whole game without BKB, without a huge amount of defensive items. He's even gone Moon Shard. You can't get much more aggressive. You get caught in the Static Storm, you're pretty much done. There is no save to bail you out other than the song. Better pray it's enough.
Is he actually going to go overwhelming blink?
Why not?
At Arcane Point.
Stronger.
That is literally more strength. Yes. Thank you, Avery. Snowball in. Giants being pulled into an nasty scenario where he'll just be avalanche. Now Chrysalis is out. Oh, look at that. Zaxa immediately tried to pounce on the Monkey King to get him off the tree. Still caught him in the end. Is he going to be able to get off of BKB? They've got the Lotus Orb to be able to help him out. He pops BKB now, turns Static Storm. There's no real Naga Siren there. They've also caught Puppy in the side. So the two supports will die. Neither one have a buyback at the Skeeter. Woo. Zaxa almost catching the Monkey King again. Chrysalis barely managed to jump away.
These retreats from Secret have been on point this game. These are not easy scenarios to get out of, and they have done the correct job at bailing on a lot of these situations. Because messy fights like that, there's absolutely no way you're taking that type of engagement. So you need to get your cores out. You need to get them well. I even feel like sometimes Puppy's just running in to try and take some of the spells, get his cores out of that situation. As long as all 3 Secret cores are alive, they can take a base defense fight.
They last showed on the bottom side of the map, so they smoke over to the top side, see if they can get a pick here. Maybe an Ember Spirit or Magnus out of position. Failing that, okay. Don't find that opening.
OBKB on this Monkey. Skeeter, he's up the Bloodthorn.
Oh, there it is. Instant Nice being used as he blinks in. Aeon Disc gets just wiped out. The Nullifier completely disrupts that one. They do have a buyback onto Rezo. They're probably going to have to wait out the supports, though. We're almost up here.
You want to fight
You gotta be careful. It's BKB. Still not back up. They're going to go for the buyback now. The Magnus needs to be able to bail him out, but there goes the song. Perfect timing. Can they get out of the glimpse range, though? Puppy is going to be able to force that one. The man to dodge or the imprisonment. No, he got the dodge out. Nice illusion dodge there. And the arrow. Now the jammer's being dropped. Almost finishing off the Monkey. He turns around. Pops Satanic. Gets a little bit of heal. Not very much, though. Secret, they got to get back to the fountain.
Any more glimpses?
No more glimpses, apparently.
No, he needs to heal. Oh, Zayats, he got songed on the blink in punch. That might be a very different fight if that happens. And of course, some sick Manta dodges from Skeeter this game.
Yeah, very well played by Tundra. Nice reset by them. I mean, they are just playing this like Secret. They're holding on by a thread, and they're playing really well to keep this game still going on. But Tundra, very disciplined. Poking at him, and getting a little bit more resources out of him, a bit more. They're saying this is fine. We love this game state. You're losing range barracks, you're losing melee barracks.
You're losing Magnus buyback?
Yeah, Magnus buyback. Like, you will eventually run out of resources. We are going to drain you dry. And even if that doesn't happen, they still have full control of Roshans. They can still infinitely farm.
And they just keep sending the Broodlings in, too. You just watch these mini-maps. It's just dots of every color going into Secret space, pushing the waves in. It's a very tough spot to be in.
Yeah, even if you did ever push out the lanes a little bit and 5-man smoked out, like, it would be so obvious because the illusions and the spiders are always inside the Secret space.
game has gone on that OD buyback is up. So that's 6 or 7 minute window that Secret had to maybe abuse that. No way to capitalize on it. Instead, they had a quick smoke bottom.
And break.
Actually chained him there.
Actually do find the OD. Moonlight Shadow goes out, and almost seems like Secret's just making a break for trying to kill as many creeps as possible and get back to base in time.
Link is on Nisha. Gonna help him a lot this game. Not get Hex, not get Astral. Be able to commit in the fight.
So many spells at the same time.
There's a lot.
So the Bloodthorns, the Scythe of Vices, the Imprisonment.
And we saw like the Nullifier, right? The Nullifier is a big one because now those Aeon Discs not helping you on the mag. You're gonna purge a lot of this stuff off. It becomes even more obnoxious to jump. Sox has got a full Octarine core. These Tundra supports are so fun and they are so annoying.
And who's gonna take the Aghanim Scepter? Gonna be the Broodmother. So now, talking about the spiders being in the base, and now you're gonna have these spinner snares just sitting all around. If you ever try and step out of the base, there's probably gonna be like 10 spinner snares you're gonna be running into.
Starting to feel like we're at the point where they need 5 or 6 Lincolnses for the mag. You know, are we at that point again? Somebody help this man get the skewers off.
They kind of do. They kind of need just that.
Or BKB here, but he's just so far from it.
Setting up Sansa, finds the initiation, 2-man avalanche with a toss back as well. They do manage to get a skewer back into the tier 4s. So as long as nobody dies on the side of Secret, this is going to be okay for them. They did use the BKB, and Sansa was walking off with the Aeon Disc, the 4 staff away. Now the Song of Siren allowing him to get out. So, he forced a BKB at Chris hit.
How do you kill him? If you're not killing him in that scenario, I mean, you need Nullifier. You just need it.
Oh, didn't quite get it. The skewer almost going off the Nullifier. He's going to make that Aeon Disc useless. Oh, no! He dies. 9 minutes him off. There's going to be a dive back. Now it's going to be a 4 versus 5. Triplets in a good position, though. And my goodness. Nice just exploded at 33. That's the squad spider as well. They do have buybacks, though. Secret got to be careful as they push out, but they really want to be able to force more. They want to be able to stop these supports. There goes the buybacks. The Bloodthorns there. Onto the Ember Spear. They need to help them out. Here comes Nine. They've got the sight. The imprisonment going down. This is maybe the last stand from Secret. It's all up to Crystal. They need to be able to fight through. Skater, he's going to fall once. 9. A dive back on him. They just changed the game for Secret, but Crystal, he's not sure if he can go for it. They're going to stick on a Skater instead. Sasha comes in. Lays down a combo. Almost enough to finish on the monkey. Idiot does die. He goes down. So 1-on-1 against Nisha. Now sneaking joint in the fray. He jumps forward. Nisha, he must get this kill. He needs it so badly. Another round of slide. Not quite a good, but the double slide gets him before he dies. He finishes off 9. He gives Secret a small chance. Tundra are gonna go high ground with 4. Just the 2 possible for a hold here from Secret. It's gonna have to be some sort of crazy tier 4 defense, all up to Chrysalis and Puppey.
This is 1 BKB. That's it in the tank. The Puppey buyback. Static Storm in 30. He's getting snare, getting illusion. I don't think the Monkey King's stopping this, but he has one last Wukong in the tank.
The most veteran TI captain in Dota history. And the newest kid to the block, Chrysalis, holding against 4 of Tundra. The tier 4s are down, the throat is exposed, they gotta get in there soon. He pops the BKB, he starts charging at Tundra, but they just keep their distance. He's gonna blow the Wukong's command, he tries to hold. He needs 15 seconds. Chrysalis, can he hold 15 seconds for the Magnus to come back and start getting those skewers?
How long is this Wukong? He's praying for it to be as long as possible.
It needs to be a little bit longer, but he's getting tossed out of it, and now Tundra, they grab a second round, a refresh, a double stun, a static sword. They're trying to hold, they're trying to get out of that static sword, but are they gonna be able to hold this one? The Mantle away, the Saga Siren out, 4 step, TP out, and Secret hold! Chrysalis and Puppey, they managed to hold somehow, some way. This game will continue.
The refresher on the monkey. We said that Wukong has to last longer. Well, 2 of them.
That's
was the way to do it. Tundra just didn't want to commit for that throne. Choosing to send everything else at it except the core heroes in. At the end of that fight, Skeeter says, I'm out of here, man. I am not going to push the luck and force the buyback.
And you don't get another chance after that one.
Divine Rapier, baby.
It's time to go all in. A Divine Rapier for Chrysalis. It's the only real way.
I mean, a beautiful setup here from the Boundless in a 2-man Static Storm static field. That's the only way you're killing these heroes, or at least threatening them. So like we said, only Crystal and Puppey. That's all you need sometimes.
That's true.
Has been
Now
killed.
they're looking for more, trying to abuse the window they have. Remember, no buyback here on this Brood for 70.
Dire's
No
middle
buyback on this
tower
OD if he gets found. Verstal is just running it down
Tries
mid.
to sneak it. Saksa. He tried to kill a creep wave. He really does
Not
not
that
want to
time.
let this opportunity for Secret to go high ground while there's still 60 seconds for
middle
I mean,
33.
this 50 seconds, no Brood. Divine Rapier up on Monkey. No buybacks for Secret. They need this
Dire's
throne,
middle
and they
tower
need to
is
race
under
it.
attack.
Tundra's pushing in
Dire
bottom.
Structures are
Nisha,
fortified.
if he can just even hold these heroes here while the rest of the team pushes down that mid lane, but they're actually going to come back.
Secret want to take the fight. They do not want to end up in a throne race.
Get the glimpse, get the glimpse. Oh, puppy.
So much time cost here, but of course, you have an exposed throne on half HP, no glyph. Secret just have no choice in that scenario, have to come back and play the defensive position. You have to imagine if they'd gotten to Tundra's base in that interval.
Oh, yeah. What is this?
Now this is
He's
absolutely
pulling-
next level.
What did I say? Nerdy and dirty? That's the only way
That
to play it
is,
right
yeah,
there,
that
Tundra.
is
That is
dirty.
nerdy and birdie to the best of degree. Pulling the creep wave with his courier, and he keeps it alive,
Dire's
too.
bottom tower is
Goddamn
under
brilliant,
attack.
Tundra.
He didn't have anything else on the map he could have done that with. With all the gunk on the map. Even the couriers making it hard for Secret to get these lanes out.
That is beautiful stuff.
Illusion.
Just when you thought you had to fight everything. They throw a little bit more your way.
Yep.
That's it. Secret, they are smoking up mid. Remember, no buyback on OD Brood. Divine Monkey might just one or two shot some heroes here. Refresher coming up in 15.
Oh man, a
have
double
a good
Battlement
angle.
strike would actually just
Good
shot
ward.
some heroes.
Glimpse on the
back
Brood.
bursting by 33. Instantly, he goes down to 2. 9 with the save though. 9 is being chased down by the snowball. Gets a 4-step away from Sox and he locks down the shoots apart. And bam! There they go. There goes one hammer. 9 setting up for a little bit more. Gets the reset up and song. So now with just the cores alive,
They are trying to get
they
out.
can keep their distance and maybe get out fully. Saksa, maybe not
buyback
so
on
lucky. That is going to be very bad if he dies here. Another hero with no buyback. Again, Secret, they have been down and out this entire game. Anything that resembles parity in this game has got to be in for Secret. They are just like inside their base for like 90% of the game. And now we've gone to a point where we're kind of even and there's 60-minute items. Secret can
60-minute
actually get out
drops.
on the map and pick up these 60-minute items, which are a game changer.
Apex for snaking here. Tundra is definitely going to do some farming and choose who to give it to. Still, you have 100 seconds, no Tiny, 50, no Brood. Lanes out. Remember, they're not big good. Still a lot of Barrack. They can push it out pretty fast between Monkey and Ember. Don't think you're Brood respawn for free. That's obviously easier said than done when you have so much trash put in your lane.
Yep, that's exactly what Quinn called it on the panel, right? You've got these spiders running at you, these illusions constantly. You have to have a way to be able to deal with it. Secret's idea was the Empower triple melee lineup, and it's still not enough.
I'm amazed at how much they found in these late game fights. Discipline in the
That is
target
a huge pickup. The
prioritization.
mirror shield, I almost want to see that on the Ember Spirit, so
Yeah,
maybe
you
can dive in a
reflect
little
the
bit
spell,
deeper.
reflect an OD spell here. Might just win you the fight.
Yeah. You know what I love is that Tundra, is that they got the Pirates hat. So as if, you know, like they already have 1,000 net worth lead, but let's go ahead and give them a little bit of extra booster. It's actually, they actually got it on the side of Secret now too, so they can both be digging up bounty runes nonstop. Shuffling items around. I don't think is there really anybody who wants that, oh yeah, they got a Tiny, Giant's Ring Tiny.
How does Tundra always end up with a Giant's Ring? I feel like I've seen Skeeter end up with a Giant's Ring so much.
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to take it on Naga this game, but guys just always get it. Of course, we're going to wait for the Tiny respawn just to see how big this Tiny gets. Everybody
Can we
wants
see a
to that.
BKB Tiny with Giant's Ring?
The most
biggest.
tiny of all time.
Secret still need 2 more.
Oh my lord, he's a big boy.
Show him. Good God! Now that's a hero!
Keyboard.
Mamma mia!
Is that a hero?
He's coming for you! Where's Roshan?
Put him in the
The
pit.
ultimate rock monster face-off!
Put him in the pit. Put Roshan in Tundra's base. We'll swap him. I mean, that is a visual monstrosity.
They have been inside. So, by the way, are also dropping. for the side of Secret.
You gotta farm through them. I mean,
Yeah, they still have one tier 4 and one tier.
pretty much got it. Fallen Scott. You've got that mirror shield. They're gonna give it to Nisha, so he has Lincoln's plus that. Trying to keep this Ember alive as much as possible. He got the refresher too. Almost level 30. These late game team fights are not as straightforward as they used to be 20 minutes ago. Like, there is a lot of gas in the tank for Secret now because of these refresher orbs coming out. Yep. Multiple Wukongs, multiple stuns, multiple BKBs, multiple ults. This is going to come down to buybacks and how much Tundra presses their advantage with the Roshans, which they're still probably going to get him, but how much does an extra Hags do for Tundra here? Not a lot. How much does an extra refresher shard do? Not a lot, right?
Yeah. If you're just now joining us, we're 63 minutes into game 1 of the upper bracket final here, Secret versus Tundra. If you're wondering what all this craziness is going on in your screen, it's a lot of tier 5 items going into play. It's Secret who have been pretty much, it felt like they were kind of in that like 5% win chance for the last like 30 minutes, but they've held on. As through sheer perseverance. What, you think that was generous? There it is!
Very generous.
Saxa!
He is actually bigger. The glorious. I'm just basking in the beauty of this
Now
guy
he's
right
got
now.
tree volley too. The tree is huge. I feel like he's gonna throw that and knock out the Ancient just with one punch.
I have nothing to say. I'm just admiring the beauty of watching this walk around. I don't think I've ever seen such a girthy specimen in my life, Cap. That is the beauty of Dota.
So the Secret have been holding on just ever so barely. And quite literally probably one of the smallest little threads you could possibly hope for. Tundra have been fully disciplined this entire time. Like, while Secret have been holding on, Tundra have not overextended, as they've seen many teams do here at this TI.
They're looking for the toss back.
They have been looking for openings and patiently letting those openings play out. Somebody walks into that spinner snare, great. They get the toss back, and Lordy is coming. Here comes Saxa. Giants ring Saxa, trying to find the opening here. The Wukong's command is going to go off. They do have the imprisonment. The Dark Shadow is the tiny moving out of that Wukong's command. Thanks to that imprisonment astral save once again from 9. They do have the Scythe, keeping that Ember Spirit. Force staff him out. That's the nullifier. Oh, he got hit by an arrow, pumping down. One pick off, tree volley being used, caught, and forced to use the BKB. 2 small wins there for Tundra. A BKB down on Chrysalis and a buyback out of the Disruptor. This is what we're talking about. Tundra has just been so good at being able to just see small opportunities like this arrow. Saxa looking for an opening. Doesn't go for the toss back instead of the imprisonment. Bangs getting caught as he tries to jump in. Also nullified as well. Tree volley's coming in. Resolution needs to be able to get out. Zion's managed to get the kickback on his snaking and snowballs his way out of there. Chrysalis sees an opportunity. He's got the Falcon strike, and the static storm will hit him off. 9 is almost dead. Niche has been messing around with him, but at the same time, Tuss falls in and trying to chase down this OD. The last resist to the BKB. Find him, keeping it up. Up with the help of 9.
This OD just way too elusive on the back end. So much help as well. And that was a refresh. Ember, he's going to have to expend buyback. Going to have to BKB for the full duration.
Buyback 1, buyback 2. Skewer away. Hold out, but at the same time, a dieback on the Disruptor. Chrysalis jumps in, immediately in prison. He's not going to get off the Wukong's command. He goes for it, and he doesn't have the BKB either. Starts fighting up against Skeeter. Trying to hold it. Oh, what a kickback! Right in front of the Monkey King. What a beautiful kick!
Buybacks here. Odie coming back in.
With the song, setting things up. They have the imprisonments ready to go. They're going to focus on this touch first. They know this repositioning is so damn bad for them. Come in, finishing off the Ember Spirit, a 2 buyback. They are all in on being able to hit either the best RP of your life, Renzo. No, it's denied by the imprisonment. He tries to go for the boundless strike. He gets the skewer back now, but coming back into play, Chris is not going to be able to do anything. Immediately silenced it. That is it. Tundra, they will take this game 1. Just the most beautiful, disciplined play you could possibly hope for to see on the main stage from Tundra. They weren't Secret bit by bit. They wore them down until they could finally break them.
many astrals, how many tosses does it take to wear the secret beam down? My God. I mean, it just felt like people were getting astrals for over an hour in that game, and every single one was more annoying than the last. There's Brulines in the back, there's Naga Illusions in the back. Somehow Rezo's finding these skewers to keep him alive, but at some point one of those spells is gonna miss. And then the gunk just gunks you up. It's just too much, man. Of course, Tiny's probably taking up half your screen as well. So many individual fights too.